Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome to the start of a brand new campaign series here today on the channel. We're going to be checking out the Age of Justinian in 555 AD. We're back on Total War Attila. We're going to be playing as the Byzantine Empire. Well, Justinian would have referred to himself as a Roman, but for us historians looking back, we would recognize this period as the Byzantine Empire. First time playing on this mod, highly recommended by you guys. I have been told to start this campaign on hard campaign / very hard battle. That's what I've been recommended to do, which probably isn't a bad idea, because I don't know how this sort of campaign fares with sanitation and food and stuff. I have loaded in the mods and some sub-mods as well. I'll put them all up on screen, and I'm also using a re-shader pack as well, so my Total War Attila will look a little bit different. But if the battles aren't balanced, we can always bring that battle difficulty down if we need to. I will let you know. But anyway, let's get stuck into the campaign, and I'll play the intro. Jeez, I don't know what that was. I think it was a glitch in the Matrix. I'll play the proper intro now, guys.
I couldn't think of a finer man for the task. Retake the former Western Roman Empire from the barbarians. Deliver it to our beloved emperor on a plate. These games should be in your honor. When I heard Justinian had you in mind, I can't say I was surprised. After all, you were his father's favorite bodyguard. Not to mention your accomplishments at the Battle of Dara. And the way you suppressed the riots in Nika. You are the last of the great commanders, and your loyalty is clearly above question. However, the ruins of Rome are a wild and unpredictable place. A lot can happen out of reach of these fragrant walls. A man might look about him and think perhaps that it is all rightfully his. Good luck, Belisarius.
Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Welcome to the Roman Empire. So at this time period, we have what we consider the Eastern Roman Empire fully under our control, and Justinian and Belisarius has retaken most of the Roman peninsula, Rome itself, bar a few territories, and we also have some territories in southern Iberia as well. So the main objective for this series is to form the Roman Empire. I want to get rid of those pesky Visigoths, the Franks, and stretch the Roman Empire back to its height with a Roman province controlled in Britannia, and some northern territory as well up in the Balkans. That's what I'd like to achieve for this series, if we can do it. So let's have a look at him. The man, the myth, the legend, Justinian himself. He's quite old at this time period. I kind of wish it was set a little bit earlier in the campaign, when he sort of sent Belisarius over to the west when the Ostrogothic kingdoms occupied Italy. The Franks and the Visigoths still occupy Spain and France, but I kind of wanted to replicate Belisarius's exploits, but no matter, we should be able to achieve a fair bit in this campaign regardless. It's going to be like a survival campaign because we are stretched very thin and the Roman Empire is not what it once was. So Justinian, it actually wasn't even his real name. His real name was Flavius Petrus Sabatius Lastinus. I think I'm saying that last two right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I am. But anyway, if my name was Flavius, I'd probably change it too. His adoptive father, Justinian, his namesake, had a rags to riches story from a humble pig farmer and swine herder to emperor. Even Theodora herself has an interesting backstory. As a young lady, what's the best way to describe her? She was a lady of the night, an actress. She had a particular famous act. I would recommend looking it up. An act that involved a swan, a lot of grain, and imagination. But it was probably just Roman propaganda. It tends to happen when there's ancient, powerful women. Scholars tend to embellish some things here and there. But her father was a bear trainer, so that's an interesting fact. I guess the love of animals runs in the family. Alright, so let's address the Empire. So we have 8k in the bank, we have 626 food, it is 555 AD. So we have Imperial Allegiance. The benefits of Empire hold a certain appeal. It sure does, especially to the outside observer. We can levy units from friendly hordes passing through Roman territory. I don't know if we're going to be allied with them because they tend to not like us. But I think at this time period, the Huns and the White Huns have mostly been subdued due to combined united attacks between us and the Sassanids. Okay, economic powerhouse, straddle the crossroads of the world and take pick of everything that passes by. So we get a plus 2% income and a 55% trade tariff. That's huge, as we are in the eastern part of the Mediterranean. We do currently occupy some of the most prosperous and maritime strong sort of trade lanes and zones in the game, which is awesome. We've got the balance of power as well. We are currently Greek Christian, which I would like to stay. We can flip over to, what is it, Latin Christian? I believe it is. If we need to, we will have to sort of pick a religion, potentially. Food surplus and war weariness, of course. So I think we'll start off with just looking at the faction itself. So here is Flavius Julius, of course. Unfortunately, he's 76 years of age, which is quite old. He does have a son and heir, Justinius. And he's also got a grandson who's adopted Tiberius. Now, where is Flavius Belisarius? How old are you? You're 55. I could adopt him in, and I'm kind of tempted to do so. Actually, guys, let me know in the comments. Should I ignore his natural born son and maybe go with like Belisarius, or I don't know. I kind of want to keep and control this family tree, and I want to have future Belisariuses. Are there any other good commanders here, or is he sort of the best? He definitely has some of the most influence. Is John of Armenia there? Oh no, he's dead. Right, so we'll adopt Flavius. We'll bring him in. We might actually... It might be a good idea to just give out some political officers if we can. So we'll just chuck out some of these guys. We'll probably eventually try and make some of these dudes governors as well. I was going to say, can I like secure that loyalty if I can? But it's been a while since I've played Total War Attila. It's been a very long time. Okay, so we can't put any of these guys into governorships just yet. And religion-wise, what are we looking at? 36% Greek. Okay, so the next major religious majority is the Latin Christianity, and then there's this other one. We could change it, but I don't know. I think to honor Flavius, it's probably not a bad idea to just keep with that Greek Orthodox Christianity. Okay, this is interesting. So we have 12 armies, yet we only can recruit 8. So we're technically spending slightly over, and if we lose an army, we can't get any more. So that's a really interesting thing to take note of. Quite often, you don't usually have more. My Imperium is nearly about to go over as well. 0 priests, 1 fleet, no spies or anything else, really. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at the objectives. I did set out to say that I would like to reforge the Roman Empire. I'm just sort of curious to see what the game wants me to do and if our ambitions align, let's say. So we need to survive until spring 568. Hopefully we can do so. We need to control 90 regions. We currently control, well, okay, just below 70. We need to maintain control of Thrace. Yeah, because that's his core ethnic homeland. And is that a part of Constantinople? Yes, it is. Or Constantinopolis, as called in this. Egypt and Syria. We only need to research 3 techs. We need to produce a decent amount of wealth, but we need a bunch of units. And then it goes up a bit more to these divine triumph victories and stuff as well. So probably to get an additional 20 settlements is probably going to be a little bit harder. It's actually going to be hard to maintain what we have now, and we're going to have to come up with a plan. So let's just have a look at the empire. So let's sort by diplomatic status. So we got some buffer kingdoms here and there. We'll try and keep them on side. The major threat we have is on this eastern border with the Sassanids and their puppets. So we're going to have to keep a strong military presence here. We're probably okay in Egypt and probably towards the south. If we can get non-aggression pacts with the Gamantians and the Gaetulians and I guess the kingdom of Moors and Romans. We are currently at war with the Visigoths and the Franks, so that's something we have to keep an eye on. So the thing is, we're so large and we don't have the military manpower. We don't even have the garrisons. Like half of Italy's been destroyed. I think we need to pick and choose what provinces we defend and abandon, because I think I haven't played a sort of Western this is more closer to like the main timeline of Total War Attila. This is more survival campaigns rather than playing like 1212 AD where everything's built up and a bit more. So it's going to be fun. It's been a while since I've played a Total War Attila campaign, particularly sort of this far back as the Romans. Even my last Attila campaigns were on the 1212 AD mod. I am open to going back to that. But let me know in the comments, feedback and suggestions, or maybe some of you guys as well that have played this Justinian mod more than me. Let me know feedback. So we're allied with the Lombard Kingdom there. I think keeping this court, I think it is imperative that we protect, defend, and hold the Eastern Roman Empire. Then when it comes to Italy, I think that's our second defense. We want to try and control Corsica and the breadbasket, but I think we might have to abandon our position in Iberia and potentially here in sort of Croatia, but we'll just have to see. So let's have a look at my armies, where we basically are. So we have an Imperial fleet currently garrisoned at Palma. I'm nearly tempted. Do we bring that sort of over here? Do we bring it to Palma? That might be difficult to attack because that could get attacked. I do want to try and hold this territory as long as possible because we are going to need the finances. So let's just see where our armies are. So we have an army here in Croatia. I I don't think it's worth picking up this desolate territory just yet. You're actually nearly better off sometimes if you don't have the funds, which we don't. We're only making 500 per turn, and we haven't brought in any units just yet. We might be better off to allow hordes to sort of take these and not spend the money, which we're a little bit short on. I think we're okay here diplomacy-wise, so we need to set up some rally points for our units. So I think with this army, we can go on a force march, which probably isn't going to overly extend our position. Or have they nerfed that in this mod? We can move quite a bit, but it's not enough to sort of risk it. And we're not quite in range of the territory there. We're going to get inside there, so it's comfortable. All right, we'll go overland. We'll send this legion to Italy to rally up. Okay, so we have another army here. I guess we make another rally point at Edessa. We do have some allies over here, but I fear a war with the Sassanids is probably going to break out. So we'll move you here to rally up, and we'll move you further back to like Antioch there. Okay, so we'll keep a full stack here. So what have we even got? Mostly heavy infantry, Limitani, archers, equites. Yeah, so mostly in this time period, we don't have the classic sort of Hastati or late Roman imperial legion or soldier in the Roman Republic. We've basically got a lot of decent spears and heavy cavalry. Okay, so we have an additional army here in North Africa. The thing is as well, we will have some rebellions, so we can't, for example, I was like, oh, do we move this over to Iberia to help out? We might actually need to move you to Carthage just to hold it and maintain some territory. We will get to the provinces and food and trade stuff eventually as well. Okay, I guess I send you to Constantinople. And we'll send those additional reinforcements. Actually, who's who? Oh, that's Belisarius in there. I was going to say, where is everyone? I don't think I want to put Justinian in the field because he's a little bit old and frail at the moment. Okay, so back up in the north. I guess we'll move this down to... I was going to say we should move it down to Rome, but I think Rome and these provinces are probably okay. So, I think Ravenna is probably where we rally up. Or should we... No, but there's more territory up here to defend, to be honest. So if I go to Genoa, can you make it there? No, you're going to be just outside. So we'll move you north. And we'll move you in here just to give you some company as well. And then we'll move you to Genoa itself. Just rallying up the legions. Just to see what we got. Because look at this. We are so far stretched. It is just all about just trying to set up some decent positioning for us. Because we're probably going to get attacked. We're probably going to get swarmed, to be honest. Okay, we'll just quickly check the generals. Yeah, Flavius. Justinius. So, Justinian... Trying to think if I should put you into the field. I'm nearly tempted to do so. I'm not too sure about Tiberius. Can I marry you off? I will eventually. Yeah, so if Belisarius is here, I guess we'll give... Because there's probably going to be some... we could lose him. I think we're probably going to lose the west more so than the east. So we'll swap you out. Because you might actually become a decent general in the end. Justinius II. So we'll bring you in. Heavy axe infantry, you look alright. And then we'll bring in Tiberius on the western front. Hopefully he can earn his spurs. So it will cost more for that cavalry. Crikey. So I'm not even tempted to do so. So we'll just leave that there. Okay, so let's have a look at our provinces. And I guess we sort by, well, unhappiness. So, wow. I wouldn't have expected that the North African territories here would have been the most rebellious. Wowee. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start from west to east, where I'm not going to worry about. So, for example, do we need, in Septum here, in Tingi, in modern-day Morocco, do we need these buildings here? They could potentially fall if we get attacked. So I'm tempted to actually break some of these buildings down just to generate some coin. Like even the quarry and stuff. I don't think it's a smart idea to put any investment into these territories. Like we've got a Latin church there. We probably should just break that down. Because we're probably just going to get attacked by the Visigoths. And we're not going to last too long. Palma has a decent... So what comes in here? Corrales and that. Okay. So that's what I mean. Like we probably should break down them and generate some sort of money. Okay, so... I don't know if I should put any investment over here either as well. But I'll have a look. So for example, another Latin church there. We definitely need to bring that down anyway. Because we're going to get religious instabilities. So here's the Greek church. Sanitation as well. And then we can get, I'm assuming, wine eventually as well. So it's probably a good idea. God, we can't even use some of these garrison buildings. Yeah, it's probably a good idea just to scout around and try and get rid of those Latin churches. Because they're going to give us a decent amount of money. But they're probably going to cause us some issues in the future. So I might just bounce around. Because I'll be able to see this a lot quicker. If there's buildings we can't control. Or basically use for all intensive purposes. No, I think we got them. So thankfully... I actually don't know. We might have actually started off with more Latin churches than potentially Greek. Which is interesting. So I think that's construction-wise. I don't even know if I should spend any money because we just don't have it. We need to get some trade lanes going. It might be not a bad idea to go into diplomacy. Oh, we do have an army down here, by the way. I didn't catch that. So... yeah, okay. We got an army here. Down towards Egypt. What's this territory? Alexandria. I guess we'll move you further up, because you're probably not worth being down there. Yeah, there was a sneaky little old legion hiding out. Okay, let's dive into and have a look at diplomacy. So, we're currently strength ranked 1. Who is strength ranked 2? The Sassanids. The Duchy of... wait, what? Yeah, the Duchy of Austrasia. That threw me through a loop saying, looking at that, I was like, I was going, I need to get some glasses going in deep. I thought it nearly said Australia. I was like, or Australasia or something. I was like, since when were my brothers, my boys, in this game? Okay, so they're Latin Christian. So essentially, I guess they're the Franks. And with the Visigoths, yeah. Alright, so let's sort by happiness, I guess. And we'll get trade from there. So, defensive allies. These, what are they? Slavic pagans to the north. Oh, I guess if they come into Thrace, we can get some of their units. Military alliance-wise, Nabatea. I don't know how smart that is. Because they could very well get attacked by Axum or one of these southern Ethiopian tribes. We're currently at war with one Tengri Horde Khan. We're at war with the Saracens, which are a Horde faction. And of course the Visigothic Kingdom as well. We do have a puppetry status, with the tribe of the Nasamones and the kingdom of Lazica. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to watch out. Yeah, because these were the Greek guys that got attacked, didn't we? That's what started off one of the early wars with the Persians. And then we've got some more sort of Caucasus tribe puppets here. Okay, well, I guess we'll just try and open up some trade lanes where we can. So, yeah, like, why aren't we trading with the Nasamones, to be honest? Okay, so they really quite like us, and we might be able to get a massive trade boon from them. That'll be good. So we're currently producing. You're currently exporting. You have no more surplus. Okay, so we have lead, silk, dyes, olive oil, marble, wine in our resources. So where is that exactly? Because we want to make sure we defend it. I guess we can kind of see here. So marble, silk, lead. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got some gems, gold. Most of our resources are coming from the east. So if the west falls, what's going to sort of happen? We will have a lumber shortage, potentially wine as well. We haven't even got the building, so I don't even know if we're going to miss it. And then olive oils from the position. Oh, we've also got the those seals we have to hold, don't they? Is there one in... No, there's not one in Russia. What are they called? Patriarchal seals, or what are they called? Patriarchy seals. Because that's like the holy seats, Rome. I think there's one in Jerusalem, yeah. Alexandria. I was like looking up for Moscow, like for the third Rome, but I guess there would be one there historically, but not in this time period just yet. It's probably not a bad idea to look at the growth and the religion disparity as well. So we will have to convert that. Sanitation ain't good. Food could be better. Fertility wise as well, I am using a tweaked climate mod as well. We should have a couple of stats that fix up the sanitation and food stuff just to balance it a bit. I think I use that in other mods as well, but I put it up on screen. The mods that I'm exactly using. Right, back into diplomacy. Okay. So, although they're my defensive allies, they still want trade. So, this is where we're probably going to try and start sorting by attitude and just sending our trade flowing from Constantinople. I might even make a non-aggression pact with some of these guys, particularly if you've got some alliances there. Yeah, sure. We might as well try and seal those. If I'm offering you trade, you will sign a military pact. And this is where we're going to get a lot of our money as well. Selling all of our expendable trade goods. There's a couple other factions here as well. So I think we'll just continue to do the same thing. So are you guys Roman? Cordova. Latin Christian. Potentially you are. But yeah, there's no harm in sending these trade agreements off and generating a lot of money. So hopefully we can turn some of these neutral kingdoms to our side. Yeah, most of the sort of the meh sort of factions, you know what I mean? The factions that I don't really mind about us actually don't mind trade. Oh, I didn't know this. We've actually already got a signed and sealed non-aggression pact with the Sassanids, which is interesting. I wonder if they want trade. Oh, they do. Okay, so this is where we're going to be generating a lot of money by the look of it. Okay, so this is turning into a little bit of an exploit at the moment. Because we've got so many trade nodes, we're just generating most of our money. Okay. it seems like there's a lot more of these. So, well, look, you know what? I'm going to skip ahead because I'm just going to try and get as much money as I can and trade because there's still a lot more factions for us to go through. Okay, so I've gone through every single faction I can trade with, and we've managed to generate a whopping 51,000 treasury. And we're getting 6,000 per turn. So I think there's a couple combinations. Because we are the major power in the game and we have so many resources to give, a lot of these smaller factions are just keen for trade. I also think it's in combination with there's a bit of a legacy bug with trade. Like, a lot of factions will accept anything for trade when you've got the monopoly on those items, unless they're patched in certain mods. I feel like there's a bit of a legacy. I feel like I've always been able to sort of convince the AI to do whatever I want with trade. But I also think there's a sort of a legacy bug in there as well. Like, kind of like, you know, when you trade with Libya, like sometimes you can lose your overall rating, which is kind of silly. There's like some weird things like that. But this, yeah, actually, I'm trying to think, the last time I did this would have been in my Antioch campaign when I was playing on the 1212 AD on Brad McBourne's sub mod. So even that mod, like, you can get so much trade. But that's awesome. This is where we're going to be able to get most of our money. We'll invest it into the economy, and if we can protect our trade lanes, we should be able to keep the cash money flowing. I'm just sort of looking for an idea. I don't tend to like to have puppets because a couple of reasons. Other major factions like the Sassanids could use them as a casus belli and a reason for war, for one, and also they tend to sort of uprise a bit. So yeah, I was just sort of saying, if like, hey, could I somehow upgrade your status to a free and independent kingdom while making you a military ally? But it doesn't seem likely. Yeah, they're just not interested. Nabatea are my military alliance. We do have a Tangi Horde faction there that seems to like me a bit. Yeah, I was like, I could make a military alliance with them. Who else? Goths don't like me. I don't know if I want to push into the Crimea, because this territory just gets overrun with hordes massively. Axum as well. They could very well get attacked. Oh, actually, I might make some sort of alliance. No, they're not interested. Alright, I think that's enough diplomacy for now. Tech-wise, haven't looked at it in this mod, so probably going into professional soldiery is probably a better idea. Getting a pay... Yeah, here we go. Drill master, drill ground, and then we've got corruption. Sanitation is probably the play, though, if we're being honest and a bit smart. But seeing so much be generated from trade, it's probably not a bad idea to go into tech, so we can get some better quality infantry quicker. So how has that changed our trade? Oh, look at this. We're managing to get 8,500 in exports, which is crazy. And we can probably also, if we want to, like, drop the tax, like in a lot of regions. Probably not, because we're hemorrhaging a fair bit. But that's still something we can keep an eye on now. If we desperately need to, we can just drop it real hard. Oh, actually, one last thing. It might be a good idea to get some of those family members married off. So are there any potential suitors for Justinian? Maybe we should sort by strength, actually. Is there a Sassanid princess? No. How about a Visigoth princess? No. I kinda want to keep it at least in the same religious family, so... Is there any potential suitors? No. Oh, I found one. So, the Goths in the Crimea, they have a young wife. Or a young potential wife. Okay. So, we can marry her to the Emperor 76. Yeah, we might actually be able to get a child if we're lucky. And we might even be able to get even more money. Nah, they're not even going to like that. Oh, I thought they might have wanted to go for that. Nah, they just want the straight up marriage. I was going to say, you can pay for the dowry as well if you want. Nah, they're just not interested. Well, we'll get this marriage done and sealed. And Theodora, oh, I hate how she's been kicked out of the tree here, is firmly forgotten. And Flavius has a new wife. High five! Okay, well, I've actually found some other potential wives that we can marry to Tiberius. It's probably not a bad idea doing that, because it's going to be a while before he gets the political power and prestige to actually go for a marriage. So even though some of these other factions aren't particularly my religion, some of them are Slavic, some of them are pagan, some of them are Germans, or Germanic, it's probably not a bad idea marrying her off. And she looks quite good. She's a decent shield maiden as well. So we'll see if this deal goes through. They're going to counter offer for 1.5k. I'm going to accept that because that's a small price. But now the family tree is completely married off, and we'll adopt Belisarius in and try and find himself a shield maiden. I think that would be a good idea, and we'll slowly bring back sort of Roman control, support, and dominion within the ruling political class. Okay, I think it's time to spend some of this cash now on recruitment and construction. So I think getting more armies is never a bad idea, and more units, because we're actually going to be able to hopefully adequately defend this territory. So where is sort of the best recruitment zone? We're going to have to create a couple. I kind of want this territory here in Antioch and Syria to be able to recruit a lot. Okay, these guys aren't that good in this particular territory. So these medium axe units, they have decent attack, but terrible shield and morale. All these guys. So maybe a combination of the two is the play. So I guess we'll get some of these axe units in. You're nearly better off just getting the skirmish. Oh, that's a shock cav. So even that's not the best. We'll just bring that in. We'll build some more just additional reinforcements on the border here. You've got no cavalry, so having some is better than nothing. Okay, back over in Constantinople. Can we get that difference in a quality of troop? Oh yeah, look at this. We can get some of those Bucalari. Oh, we actually get some better quality swordsmen as well. Oh, these guys look way better. So we can get some proper swordsmen in. Alright. These guys look more barbarian than anything. What about you here over the river? You can't get too much different. Well, let's also get some Bucalari. I might actually get both. Yeah, let's get some Bucalari in. And some better quality swordsmen. So what's getting me that? Ah, a rally field. Okay, so we're going to have to put some of those around our territory. So where's the next recruitment zone? You're, of course, moving to Alexandria. We'll put you on a forced march. There's probably not a bad idea getting some sort of military presence down in the south. We don't need too many more. We definitely want to move you into Genoa. Yeah, I was going to say, can you change to a forced march or anything? No. Mercenary-wise, we don't have any of those access. Move you that there. Okay, back over in Spain. This is where we're going to have to put a decent amount of recruitment in, just to keep on top of it. Oh, we can actually get some light artillery ships as well. We'll definitely get some of those. Oh, wow. Why can we get 5 of them? That's mental. Because we might actually be able to defend our territory here if the Visigoths attack, which they will. So we're already on a recruitment blitz. We're making 6k per turn, so we should be able to maintain and keep with the upkeep. Okay, back over to the Eastern Front. I think this is where we put most of the infrastructure and construction going. So I think we want to basically build up and buffer these border towns. I think that's not a bad idea. So if I was to upgrade Trebizond, what's going to happen? We lose 30 food, which is quite a bit. So in doing so with the upgrade, we will have to build some more farms or get just any food in wherever we can. So we'll try and upgrade some of these because we don't want to have to constantly keep garrisons nearby, and we also want to keep the public order down as well. We also need to focus on stuff that can generate us money, We also need to keep the religious populace suppressed and sort of happy, and then we need to keep food and sanitation as well. Okay, so can we change any of this? So what exactly does that do? Because I haven't checked out the buildings in this mod as well. So I don't know exactly what everything does. So I guess we'll expand. So what do we actually have here? We've got some food. Okay. I think it's probably not a bad idea to build a Greek chapel. I don't think we need a rally field here just yet. Okay, so that's not a border territory, so I probably don't need to upgrade this. That can be upgraded. It does cost quite a bit, but it will be worth it. We got some vineyards here as well. Edessa doesn't need to be upgraded just yet. What about you here? You can be upgraded, so we'll do that. But we also need to keep in mind as well that we don't run out of food. So it actually might not be a bad idea switching some of these jetties to fishing. Because look at this, we get a plus 50, and that's basically going to feed those constructions and building upgrades. So I think that's the play. You know what I mean? We'll also upgrade that as well. And yeah, we've got fishing jetties here. So maybe we'll build a farm down here. And then we're probably actually okay on the border here. Oh, we want to try and get a mine here, actually, if we can, eventually. Yeah, we don't want a gem deposit. We want to keep an eye on the territory that has gold and stuff. Oh, no, you've already got gold veins going, which is good. Fishing jetties. Yeah, like, you already get a lot from trade. You'd be surprised. So, we can always change it back. It just depends. Like, the thing is, winter is quite harsh in this. So, I think that's for the border territory fine. I don't know what else we should sort of invest, because we haven't got too much money to deal with. Maybe sorting by sort of religion here. So, where's that? So most of our core Greek territory is already Greek Christian, which is understandable. Okay, so these territories down here in the Levant probably need to be converted. We can worry about these territories later. So it's actually probably not a bad idea if we've got spare... Oh god, we've even got big religious buildings here anyway. Oh, we do, and it's still not converted. Crikey. Okay, so maybe it's these border territories here that maybe need to bring in some osmosis. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, I think... Yeah, we probably should upgrade some of the religious buildings down in the south. Or maybe we sort by happiness and see where we're going. Yeah, Tripolitana. You're being broken down here, so we can eventually get a religious building in. Probably switch that to food. We'll go back to Spain eventually. We can actually convert this one in Regium now. And a couple of these buildings are just ruined and desolate, which is annoying. And we'll try and get some food in, and then we'll focus on getting fountains and stuff. Okay, so that's not too bad. I think we're in a far better position than what we were before. We've actually put some money into the economy. Okay, I think we're ready to end the turn and continue. We're basically just putting in the work so we can, well, benefit from it later in the campaign. It's just such a large empire to deal with. I just don't want to make any mistake, because there's a lot to manage within that. So we've got to get food, sanitation, religious stuff as well, and then we need to protect certain areas. So maybe just get some more food where we can. We can also bring in a provincial governor, so we'll do that. We can't afford it. So we're in the turn and continue. Okay. No one attacked us, which is good. We'll decree with Justinian. Alright, perfect. Foreign trespasser where? Okay, so we've got a horde in our lands. So the adoption of Belisarius has gone through. We want to try and get him married off. We could marry him off to a Byzantine noble, but I'd much rather put him into a political office. There is a princess here in Burgundy, and that will give us some ties with them. Hopefully they won't push... Oh, they've rejected. If we can get this done, that might deter them for pushing into our territory in northern Italy. Okay, so we have to offer them a fair bit, which is annoying, but that deal's gone through. Hopefully we can have some more children. Okay, so now we can put in some political officers, because I guess these guys have gone up in stats a bit, and we've got a bit of money left over. So I think putting these governors in the problem settlements will be a good idea. There is a mod that basically gives you unlimited governors. I think it's a 1212 AD mod. I haven't added it, but it might not be save game compatible. Because 5 isn't really enough, is it? Because realistically, there'll be a governor in every single province, you would imagine. We'll just see how we go. If it's really hard to control the sanitation and religious issues here, we might have to use that mod. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I might add it later on, but we'll just have to see how we go. Okay, so we're doing okay at the moment. Most of my armies are in defensive positions. Skipped a little bit ahead. We haven't been attacked anywhere, which is good. But that hopefully won't last for long, you'd think. Because we are at war with a lot of roaming horde factions. So we're just trying to build up our armies where we can. Okay, so back down in southern Iberia, we've got half a stack. We're still keeping a watchful eye of the Visigoths to the north. We currently have 11 units there. Right, so my fleet has intercepted a Gothic fleet. We might be able to attack that. I have sent Tiberius, Flavius's grandson, to attack Narbo. So we might have that battle here today. I'm also sending Belisarius west. I feel like it's a bit of a waste having him in the east. So we're going to have 3 armies in the west. Alright, back down in the east. We haven't had any attacks from the Sassanids. However, a horde faction here has come in striking range. They're actually in my allied territory. So this could be the first battle of today's episode, or the one in Narbo. So they've moved into our allied territory of the Gassanids. They're our puppet. So we'll send Justinius, who is Flavius' son. Oh, okay. So he's taking a little bit of attrition to the north. Hopefully not too much to the south. I think it's worth doing it. We won't lose too many men. But we'll either play this in the desert or the one in the west. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. So unfortunately that Gothic fleet sailed back to Spain. Okay, that army's just chilling there. We've moved the fleet back to Palma. Okay, so it looks like the horde faction is pushed further back. We'll give chase. Oh, we are just not in range, which is annoying. They have a secondary army there. So we're coming quite close to the Sassanid capital of Baghdad. Okay, so we might play this in the next episode if we can catch them. We might be better off having the Battle of Narbo in today's video. So we'll move you back here. Alright, back over to the far west. Yes, so we can move Tiberius over here with his army. Okay, so we can't actually attack this turn from land. However, we can attack navally. This is our first battle. Although we're really favoured to win this one, I'm actually tempted to play it because we have our first battle of the Age of Justinian campaign. It's going to be an amphibious assault. Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Welcome to the Siege of Narbo 55 AD. Flavius Justinian. Did I say Julius? I meant Justinian. Yeah, Flavius Julius is the faction leader in the Julii. Yeah, it's a Rome remaster. That's what I'm saying. That off the top of my tongue. Yeah, so Justinian has sent Tiberius, his grandson, to siege and take back the Roman city of Narbo. So thankfully we've got a lot of cavalry in this build. So they're going to be able to push, harass, and start attacking the enemy settlement. So playing this one, it was actually probably better to auto-resolve this, just looking at the balance of power. But let's have a look at the Roman army at this time. So we do have some decent heavy cavalry. So these are a hybrid unit. And there's some reinforcements coming in. So here's the majority of our navy. We'll try and get them to disembark. So we will have to take our time pushing and progressing up into the settlement because my guys are going to be exhausted. So what I'll do is I'll swing my melee cavalry around so that they can intercept the enemy fleet looking to disembark and rendezvous with the garrison. I'll move my skirmishers up here. We'll get my light archers to go with flammable ammunition, and we'll try and burn this tower down if we can. Now these guys should have some flaming javelins, but they're probably getting a little bit too close for my liking. So anyway, we can move that cavalry into the city if need be. So we've got a bush flaming already. But here are the scourge of the Visigoths. They occupy most of Iberia at this time. The Ostrogoths have been kaput thanks to Belisarius. But here come the Romans, the might of the Eastern Byzantine Empire. How fantastic do those guys look? Anyway, we're still focusing on that tower. I don't know if we're actually making a dent, so because it's not really engulfing in flames that well. Alright, so we've got a general here coming in. So let's give out some attack orders and try and hit that. For Tiberius! For the line of Justinian! Oh my god, this is going to be a crazy charge! Oh, these poor fellas coming fresh off the boat are not going to stand a chance! Oh my god. They're trying to save the ships, they're pulling out quickly. And the first battle of this series is working quite well. Oh my god, they're wavering already. So, for this series, army build-wise, we're really going to have to rely on this heavy Roman, in brackets, Byzantine cavalry in this series, like the Cataphractari and whatnot. Is it Bucalaria? I can't remember the name change exactly. Exactly what class they are. Anyway, let's move my infantry up, because now they are fully disembarked on the beach in southern France. So ideally, what I would like to do is break up the army into some groups. We'll go with a two-pronged attack on the eastern side. Move my archers up as well. We'll reform this cavalry, because they're going to flank sort of on this side. It looks like they've actually given up their position. Or we just, like, yeah, it looks like that unit has given up its position that was stationary there, but maybe we just can't see. Alright, so the Byzantine fleet is now leaving, and our better quality infantry is here. So infantry-wise, this is pretty much the stock standard of the build. Huge round shield, spears, and then the general's bodyguard is equipped with chain and plate mail with axes and swords. So we'll just speed things up. We'll give everyone a bit of a breather, because we don't want them to be too exhausted marching and advancing into the enemy city. So we'll give out some attack orders now. Let's send 2 spears and 1 sword, and we'll do the same on this side as well, because it does look like they're intertwining cavalry into infantry. So if we can stop a charge by chucking some spearmen in there, that'll be brilliant. And then we'll chuck these 3 in reserve, just to see how the AI reacts, because we might be able to get an opening on one of those positions and charge more in. Cavalry, settings doesn't look like there's anyone there. Maybe just go straight for the town square, so we can initiate the countdown and get that morale boost for us. I'll get my cavalry to slightly lag behind the cavalry coming in, my archer cav, so they can get some shots off. I have moved up my archers here. We'll change the shot, because I guess I chucked them on flammable when we were going for archer towers, which you probably don't need. Gotta watch out for that cavalry, because they seem to be bluff charging or posturing. They probably should have full-on charged my archers there, because I probably wouldn't be able to move that infantry. They are very sluggishly moving up there. Okay, so we've actually managed to take the northern part of the city with ease, by the look of it. And they're trying to go back to the town square now. They're giving up their position, which is interesting. Okay, so we'll get my cavalry to try and charge theirs. But yeah, everyone just try and get into the city, give chase. Oh, there seems to be a Roman amphitheater there. That's good. But they haven't desecrated this Roman city too much. There's still remnants of the Republic. Okay, let's give out some attack orders there. It does look like some of the Visigoth swordsmen want to engage into a fight. So we're fighting just beneath the old theatre. And fierce fighting is breaking out between Roman and Visigoths. Bring down the Goths! To be fair, the Goths are still in this, aren't they, in the Crimea for whatever reason? Yeah, I haven't seen on the map the Ostrogoths, but I'm pretty sure they're all being done in. Thanks to Belisarius. So I think what we'll do for this campaign is, like I said, try and reforge the Roman Empire, which will be easier said than done, as a lot of the barbarians to the west want to create their own kingdoms. The Kingdom of Spain and France, and same with Britain. So I think we'll keep an eye on the east. Look, if I have to go to war with the Sassanids, I will. But you never know, they might just start raiding my territory. We could push into the Caucasus. Pushing into Armenia could be a play. North Africa, except for Morocco and where the Roman Moors are, we could eventually push into there. There's even some small barbarian outcroppings in the Balkans that we probably should root out as well. I want to try and replicate Rome's historical borders. So I think pushing to Iberia is probably not a bad idea. We've already got a bit of a foothold there. We don't really want to lose it. Okay, so they've now capitulated. It's only the cavalry now that's holding. So we're going to basically win and around this theatre by the look of it. Archers raining fire and death upon the Visigoths. And we're managing to give chase. And eventually we want to make... Oh my god. Look at that! Oh! Big old shield knocked down. And a stab right through the arteries. Perfect. Yeah, we eventually want to recolonize and build back up some of the destroyed and desolate Roman cities. Okay, so their cavalry's capitulated now. Let's move some of this cavalry back. The infantry's capitulated, sorry. Their cavalry hasn't, but they've got a unit in there. So we'll move my cavalry back and we'll chuck in my spears, because that should just speed things up. So, not too bad of a first battle. I'm kind of happy that we're fighting against the Visigoths, because you start at war with them. I want to try and get rid of them. But there's even some small Iberian kingdoms as well. I want to try and get all of Spain fully under our control. But there's going to be a lot of micromanaging in this series, so I did show a lot of it in this, but I might just have to skip over it because it does take... It's quite a while. You spend 5-10 minutes just sorting out the buildings in this. Just because we're managing such a large empire, you kind of have to, because if I don't focus on religious, food and sanitation, what's going to happen is that rebellions are going to start popping up, and then we're going to have to send military action to deal with them. Look, there's going to be some regions which we can't afford. Like, it's inevitable. Like, there's going to be rebellions there regardless of how well we do, just because of the difficulty we're playing on these higher difficulties. Like, on easy and normal, you don't have to deal with rebellions really that much. But I also don't know how this campaign sort of plays out as well, because this is my first time playing it. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Anyway, decisive victory. We'll end that there. Okay, so we lost 400 or so Romans, and we've managed to destroy the Visigothic kingdom in Narbo, which is rather fantastic. And now we've taken our first settlement back in France, in Gaul. Okay, so not too bad. We could liberate, but no. I want to... The thing is, occupying still gives a -10, but we could use the money. I think I want the replenishment slightly. And this is the thing is with this as well, we're probably not going to be able to take the neighbouring settlements in here, yeah, for not some time, because it's like in Aquitaine. It's further north than I would like. I want to focus on Spain for now. But anyway, I've got to wrap up the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of my Age of Justinian Let's Play. Stay tuned for episode 2 coming out soon. I will be doing a lot of episodes of this, so we'll do it until we reforge the Roman Empire's historical borders and hit our victory conditions. So thanks for watching. Let me know feedback and suggestions. Maybe guys as well that have played a campaign. I'd really appreciate some advice, some tips and tricks. And yeah, just maybe some general suggestions as well. Alright guys, take care. I've got to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members and play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Got to say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.